top 5 ancient medical tools that looked like torture devices. No, 5 is the trepanation saw. This is a tool used to drill a hole into the skull. It looks like something that would be used to cut down a tree, but it was actually used by surgeons in the 18th century. The surgeon would start by making an incision in the skin and then use the saw to cut through the bone. This would allow them to remove a piece of the skull and access the brain. Now, this might sound crazy, but back then, trepanation, as it was called, was done to treat a variety of conditions, including headaches, epilepsy, and even mental illness. The risk of infection was extremely high, and many patients died as a result. So, it's a good thing that we don't do this anymore. But just imagine the pain and suffering that this caused. Number 4 is the bird beak instrument. This is a tool used to extract feathers from an infected wound. It looks like a pair of pliers, but instead of metal teeth, it has tiny little hooks. This would allow the user to grab onto a feather and pull it out. But wait a second, didn't I just say that it looked like a pair of pliers? Well, yes I did. And that's because this instrument was actually adapted from a pair of pliers. It was used during the Middle Ages and before, and it was considered a miracle cure for everything from gunshot wounds to burns. Of course, it didn't actually do anything to help the wounds heal, and it probably made things worse. No, 3 is the vaginal speculum. This is a tool used to dilate the vagina so that a woman can be more easily examined. It looks like a pair of scissors, but instead of sharp blades, it has 2 hollow handles with a light bulb in the middle. The light bulb was designed to illuminate the vagina so that the doctor could see inside of it better. But let's be honest here, this thing looks way more scary than it does useful. It was used in the early 20th century, and I'm sure that it helped doctors diagnose many conditions that couldn't be seen with the naked eye. But just imagine the pain and humiliation that this caused. No, 2 is the head crusher. This is a device used to, you guessed it, crush the head. It looks like a medieval torture device, and that's because it kind of is. It was used in the 19th century to treat a variety of conditions, including epilepsy, dementia, and even schizophrenia. The idea was that by crushing the head, the brain would be jolted into submission. Doctors believed that this would stop the person from having seizures, but it actually had the opposite effect. It made the seizures worse and often led to the person being institutionalized. And no one is the electrotherapy machine. This is a device used to treat mental illness using electricity. It looks like something that would be used to power a small town, but it was actually used in the early 20th century to treat people with mental illness. The machine would send an electric shock through the body, which was supposed to help alleviate symptoms of mental illness. But let's be real here. This thing is straight up terrifying. It was used to treat everything from depression to anxiety to schizophrenia. But the problem was that it was completely ineffective and often resulted in death. Thankfully, this practice was eventually outlawed, and electrotherapy is no longer used as a form of punishment. So there you have it. 5 ancient medical tools that look like torture devices. Which one was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.